Welcome to Coffee and Bullshit.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Pierce and Sue.
Yep, I'm Pierce.
I'm
And I like that it sounded like you already forgot your
Good morning.
Good Oh, wait, here. Good morning. That was probably like right in front of the camera.
Then where you want it to be if you want to show up.
No, I mean like too close to see what's on the cup. It's fine. So how are you?
I'm okay. You know. Waking up.
Yeah, it's 10:30.
I mean, I've been awake. I've been up since like 7.
I'm waking up because I only woke up maybe an hour ago, and it takes me a long time.
We're having unusual weather in Atlanta. The high today is supposed to be 76, and it is mid-June.
Seriously? It's supposed to be 76 today?
Yeah, today and like in the 70s for like the next 2 days.
Oh, maybe I'll go for a walk.
That's what I was thinking. So when Bruce was like said he needed the car this morning, I was like,
oh boo, no walk.
oh boo, no walk. And I was a little pissed about it. And then I was like, it's not supposed to be up in the 70s today. When he gets back from the courthouse, I can watch some on Paul. Wanna?
I might want.
Go out to the perk.
I'm always down for a trip to the perk. Sorry, I just noticed a tree branch hanging in one of the trees outside. It's very big.
Yes.
Big diagonal one. Anyway, jeez, what are we talking about this week?
Well, what have we been talking about already this morning?
Oh, a lot of D&D stuff.
A lot of D&D stuff, par for the course, but also like Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh yeah, I was feeling gosh, yes. The unprofessionalism.
My God, you're fired.
I'm so sorry. I'm fired from podcasting. Yeah, I was filling in on some of the basics of Welcome to Night Vale, which has long since been a favorite of mine.
But the reason we got talking about it was because of this podcast that I found on Spoofy about the gods of the Appalachians. What was that podcast? And I'm interested. And you're interested.
I am interested. I listened to a little bit of it. It was very good.
And Lee was interested. Old Gods of Appalachia.
Yeah, that sounds dope. I can always boogie with some old gods, you know?
Yeah.
Except in D&D.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I just don't really jive with the whole Eldritch
Oh, yeah.
and God stuff in D&D.
Right.
It's just not my thing. Just give me a dragon. I'm not hard to please.
I mean, you know, there are plenty of big monsters. All you really have to do, the big thing is just like figuring out the motivations and stuff.
Right.
And getting like, you know, the tactics down. How they would go to town. Looking up liches and stuff like that in Keith Almond's book, The Monsters Know What They're Doing. Boy, I read it and I was like, Lee, how did your characters defeat a Serac so fast?
Yeah.
Like, they totally took him down, and Lee was like, I know, I didn't have the book at the time.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah. Oh my god, a Serac can be a real. But a lot of the big bads in D&D can be real softies if you don't know enough about battle tactics. Because I feel like we had the same issue with Strahd.
Yes.
When you ran Curse of Strahd for us. We almost killed him like a couple of times.
A couple of times.
Before the boss fight, even.
Yeah.
Which, humble brag, but...
Yeah, but also me not knowing, me being a new DM.
I'll still take it as a humble brag.
Okay. That's fair.
I kicked a lot of ass in that character, to be
You
fair.
did. You did. You and, what's his face?
What, my character?
Mm-hmm.
Raphael. My good boy. My good, bad boy. I love him. Yeah, I've been missing a lot of my old D&D characters lately.
Yeah.
A lot of the ones who have mysteriously died in campaigns with our group by one means or another.
Mysteriously died.
Well, there was Blade, who died relatively mysteriously.
I mean, he was blown up in a spaceship.
No.
No?
No, that was Void.
Void.
Both tieflings, understandable. No, Blade was the one who was killed in Lee's Curse of Strahd campaign. That with you and Isaiah, and you guys didn't even go back for his body.
Oh, right.
You literally just left him.
That was hard, though.
I was like super upset. I was like, I thought we were friends. You guys didn't even come looking for him.
No, we didn't. No, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I would like to go back to that campaign. Lee was saying he kind of felt like, I was like, I kind of feel like we just abandoned your campaign. It wasn't that we didn't like it. I just felt like completely threatened.
Oh, for sure. What? By what was going? Wait, by what was going on?
Yeah.
Oh, because we were doing Dungeon of the Mad Mage at that point.
No, before we went to the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, when we were still in Barovia, and there was like all old god eldritch shit.
Oh, right. Yeah, I just didn't really. It just. I just want dragons! It's in the name! Play Call of Cthulhu if you want old god shit. It's in the name! I get really passionate about this kind of stuff. I don't know.
I just felt like I didn't know how to fight it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I think that's why I like just simple,
Yeah.
straightforward, high fantasy. Kill a princess, rescue a dragon. Fairy tales.
I hear you.
Or, if you want to be really traditionalist, then the other way around.
Kill a princess, rescue a dragon.
That's what I said.
Oh.
You didn't even notice.
I was looking at the timer.
Yeah, that's fine. I mixed them up on purpose. That was the...
I get it.
Yeah. Okay, well, the gift didn't land. That's fine.
That's okay.
But I don't know. All this old god stuff, all these modern day settings, just doesn't do it for me. High tech, whatsy who's robots and D&D. I know I sound like an 80-year-old man right now, but
I think that there's a place for it. I think that, in thinking that there's like the Temple of Gond in Waterdeep or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
which is, where they practice making constructs and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, I don't want it to sound like I'm completely intolerant. There's definitely...
No, and I didn't mean that. Sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't implying you meant that.
But if you see something like that and you're like, oh, there could be a Temple of Gond in every city. And hey, we can all have washing machines. Hey, why are we all like riding horses when we could be, digging up fossil fuels or using some sort of magic to make cars and stuff like that? And then it becomes a completely different setting.
Jersey knit fabric's a good idea, and then all of a sudden you're not playing D&D anymore and you're just in a room with your friends.
Right.
It gets too modern.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it just gets too modern. I think the point of D&D is to immerse yourself in a fantasy world. And I think people putting things in D&D that make it more like our world, personally, it really breaks my immersion. Is kind of what I mean. I would say my limit would probably be when my, well, I guess when the household favorite DM, Matt Mercer, released the Gunslinger class, I think. It's probably like my limits on that. The Gunslinger I can get behind. Anything more modern than that, I'm like, listen, guys, I'm trying to play a fantasy game.
Right.
Which is why I usually run really traditional medieval fantasy campaigns.
Yeah, and I was reading up on some of like the older editions, and they were talking about how slowly your health regenerated.
Ugh.
And I kind of like that, but I'm also kind of like, we gotta keep the game going too.
Well, for sure, but also, I think from what I've seen in older editions, health potions were a lot more common.
I don't remember.
Like, you healed slower, but also health potions weren't 100 gold.
Right.
And you found them more often.
Right.
How wicked expensive is that? Like, you think about how the currency works in D&D. A gold is the equivalent of like $10 with the way the exchange rate. I saw a Tumblr post about it. The look you were just giving me. You're like, oh yeah.
Well, so here's the thing that I've heard. It's like, like I think it was like 10 gold for a farmer is like an annual pay.
Mm-hmm.
So, or maybe it was like 100. I don't know. It just depends, I guess, on where you're playing, who you're playing with.
True.
But yeah,
I just don't get it. I don't get the money. I don't get the spells. We always have the same conversation about D&D, I feel like.
Okay, so we don't need to talk about the spells unless you just want to have a rant. Are you feeling ranty?
I'm just tired, that's all. I'm tired. I haven't had breakfast yet. No, we don't have to talk about that. It just gets exhausting, is all.
I hear you. Well, I'm getting ready to run Tomb of Annihilation. We have our first session. We've already had our session 0, so we have our first session this coming Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm excited, but I always forget, like, so I use the Sly Flourish, basically the Sly Flourish form of setting up my weekly games or each session, and I think it's a really good thing. I just always forget when I'm starting how much I need to read and how many notes I need to take.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Me too. You get started and you're like, yeah, it's time to start a new adventure time, new story time, and then you actually start playing and you're like, and you're all in a tavern.
So I read up some good stuff on Chult and how to run TOA, but I've also been kind of procrastinating because I'm kind of like, with this Sly Flourish thing, it's real easy.
Sure.
I can get it done real fast, and what I need to have been doing for like the last week and a half to 2 weeks is like absorbing the book into my brain. And I have been
reading up on all the stops they have to make in the jungle, encounters, and that's not even counting the stuff in Port Nyanzaru.
Right?
They're gonna go dinosaur racing.
Oh, well, that's how we're starting off the first session.
Yeah, you have to. Oh, they're already in Chult, starting off the first session?
Right, so they've all come to Chult as for certain reasons. Like, Alex is there as, like, Alex is the fighter. He's going to be, like, he's Gronk.
Did Isabel come up with the name?
No. Gronk, the orc fighter.
Good. Love that.
And Jeremy's going to be the cleric, life cleric.
Sounds about right.
and Isabel is going to be the wizard scholar.
Also sounds about right.
Yep.
It is nice when you get to know certain people and how they play D&D.
Right.
You hear about a character and you're like, yeah, I know that side of your personality. I've seen that one.
and I need their character sheets. I need to send them emails. Or text. Shush.
Sorry.
I'm an old daddy. We always communicated by email.
Back in my day. My favorite color is blue. Sorry. I was really only laughing at the fact that you said it so genuinely the first time, and you're like, or texts.
Right, so the thing is though that I need their character sheets, and I was a poor DM and did not take notes during our session 0.
Well.
So we'll probably have to have like a little bit of a recap. I can't remember why Isabel is there, except I think she's a
scholar, right?
She's a scholar, but she's got the background of like the anthropologist, I think.
Oh, so maybe she's studying the death curse?
Yeah, or just, how life has managed on this like funky little island that's so different from everywhere else.
Sure. This funky little hut.
And then I can't remember why Jeremy's there. And I need to like connect them to certain gods and so on and so forth. Because he's a cleric, I need to know what his god is.
Sure.
So we can make things extra interesting.
Yeah, I really liked the god portion of my run through Chult. For sure. My character had a whole ass religious experience there.
Oh, that's right. At Camp Vengeance, right?
Mm-hmm. He went from being so he had been a tiefling blood hunter. Thanks, Blade. And he was, not a good person, professional assassin, ex-Centaurum.
Mm-hmm.
And the people at Camp Vengeance, turns out, they don't really like the Centaurum. And so I was like, so here's the thing. Blade said, you've got wounded soldiers and you're not doing anything to help them, so why don't you let me take them? I will go back to Port Nyanzaru, which is like a 2-week trip, by the way.
Right.
There.
Right.
And I was like, and I'll get them the medical attention they need. If you'll just send me with you can send me with a guard if you don't trust me. And he was like, we're not going to trust our soldiers' lives in the hands of an ex-Centaurum, which I don't know how he knew about that. Someone told him. I don't know. And basically it turned into a kind of balls to the wall shootout. And eventually Blade got up on this rock and he was like talking to the soldiers and he was like, your captain is willing to let your comrades die instead of putting their lives in my hands so that I can bring them to the port and get the medical attention. That is the leadership you're dealing with right now. And I basically started a rebellion in Camp Vengeance.
Excellent.
With a natural 20 charisma check.
When you needed to roll right.
And the girl I had a crush on, my friend Leah's character, she was playing an Eladrin nature cleric.
Oof.
Named Bella. And she's very cute, redhead, perfect. Very big, that bitch from AI. Who's the one from AI? The paladin.
Oh, okay. Evelyn.
Very big Evelyn vibes, except nature instead of light. And she was watching me give this speech, and while she was watching me, her god spoke to me and chose me as a follower. Maliki. Chose Blade as a follower, and his alignment changed after that. His eye color changed, like his eyes went like liquid gold, and he had this like big fucking grand supernatural experience in the middle of camp.
Sweet.
And so everyone was like, everyone who had just joined my rebellion. What a good time. Sorry for that little 2-minute tirade.
No. See, that's fun.
That's the kind of shit I
like,
love.
when you can switch things around, like we can talk in the next session about like how my alignment just changed in our Avernus campaign.
Ooh, tell me about that once the recording gets turned off, because now I'm curious. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
We are
Oh, you knew. I told you because of that whole issue with going around and round with Domino. That fight that we had last session. That argument. That
I don't
big.
think you told me that your alignment changed. But anyway.
So my alignment changed from chaotic neutral to neutral good.
Oh, changed in, yeah.
So, whereas like, my elf would have gone along with just about everything. Now, not so much.
No, not so much.
Because where like, the character Domino has the hand and eye of Vecna.
Oh, sure.
My character, Shan, has the hand of Maliki. Because Maliki got consumed by the companion, who is the big bad guy in our game.
Huh.
And all that was left was her hand, and now it's on me.
Damn. No pressure, right?
It's fine.
Okay, well, good. How'd you feel that way?
It's fine. Okay. Well, we're gonna stop here.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
See if we can upload a 15 to 20 minute video instead of a 30-minute video, because fuck YouTube.
You can't say that after putting this on YouTube.
I can.
We're gonna lose our monetization.
Look at me. Watch me say it. Everybody have a good day.
Bye.